Hello everyone. I know I haven't really recorded any videos recently or posted anything public. I have good reasons for that, but really the only thing I really wanted to say was the only reason I made this video was because I wanted to do a little challenge for me, that's not too hard, it can be easily done, and proof for it. So that's what this video is, just proof that I soloed all the bosses. But then not just that, the video is also gonna have a tier list of every boss, reasons why I think they're where they are. So that's the reason this video is being made. It'll probably stay up unlike other videos, no matter the amount of views that it gets. The bosses are going to go in chronological order, so obviously we're going to be starting off with a three-headed dog. Yeah, so Gladius for me, low-key was the best choice they could have done possibly for this first boss. As a three-headed dog, he offers a lot more of a challenge, especially as a solo, because when he splits up, that can you get jumped like crazy. It's almost impossible to get away. Obviously, I've played the game a bit. When I first started, this boss was near impossible. That's whenever it was split up, I'd get hit by its blast attack. I'm sure it can show up in a second. But yeah, it'd do its blast attack, and I just get caught by all three of them, die immediately. And so yeah, starting this game off, I was super rusty. I haven't played Souls games in a while. But he's a really good boss to get you introduced back into this type of game. So that's why for me, this guy, easy B tier. I wouldn't say C. I feel like C is too low for this boss. The OST isn't all that. It wasn't anything too noticeable for me. Didn't set the boss apart from anything else. And the environment, I wasn't digging it. It looks cool. I love the flaming crosses. They look awesome. But compared to the other bosses in this game, I feel like that's nothing special. They're just kind of introducing us slowly to everything that's going to be shown. But yeah, this boss, I loved his attacks. I'm excited for the enhanced version. I'm probably going to make another version of this video giving my rankings on the enhanced bosses. Some stuff's probably going to change around. I already know some changes I would do myself. But yeah, Gladius is an easy B tier for me. I loved this fight. The arena was alright. Great challenge. Once again, decent fight. Easy B tier of a scale. Okay, now the gaping jaw, I do have a bit more criticisms for it. Something I forgot to mention in the previous clip is that I don't like fighting animalistic type bosses that are huge. That's not my kind of boss. I suck at fighting those. My first ever Souls game was Elden Ring, and when I fought Malekith, oh my god, I was on him for I think 2 weeks. It wasn't good. I was on him for a while. I almost quit because of Malekith. He was a huge animal-like boss. His moves are almost unpredictable, just like the gaping jaw. That's why I struggled a lot, especially when I first started playing this game against him. Even in this clip, it's sped up ×2 just like the other one, but I think it took me an additional minute or two just to get him down. And you could also see that I died here, but yeah, Gaping Jaw is... I still like it. The boss itself, I love its design, I love its moveset. And its arena is a lot more flashier than Gladius. And his enhanced version, we're not really going to use enhanced to determine these rankings, but even better. It was great. But yeah, no, the Gaping Jaw, he's still a B tier for me. He's not on the same level as Gladius. He's probably on the lower level tier of a B tier, but he's still there. He's not quite C tier. I think there's other bosses in this game that fit that criteria way better, but yeah, no, Gaping Jaw, I love this moveset. That slam attack onto the ground, gorgeous. Don't mind my horrible ult. I know I've done 2 of those already. One against the first boss in this one. But yeah, and then something also when I first ever fought him, when I first week into the game, I wasn't aware about the weaknesses. I just kind of used whatever. So yeah, using poison is makes the fight tremendously easier. But a Gaping Jaw, easy low B tier. He's a B minus. He's still a decent boss with look at that background, amazing. I love it. And then his music is definitely better than Gladius, but he's way harder. That's what's great about it. Hard bosses that you can really start feeling it is awesome. one of the best things you feel in these games when you beat a difficult boss, especially alone, and just like the feeling afterwards. That sounded like a load of nonsense. Oh lord, but yeah, no, this boss easy low B tier. I think I had less fun fighting him just because, like I said, I don't like big animalistic bosses, but he's still great nonetheless. So yeah, Adele or the Gaping Jaw is also. God, can I kill him? Oh my god, he's 1 HP. Yeah, so Gaping Jaw, easy low B tier for me. There's definitely going to be some C tier bosses, so don't you worry about that. So yeah, it's a B tier, a little less than Gladius, but still B tier. Now, what I have to say for the Sentient Pest isn't any better than the Gaping Jaw. I can understand what they were trying to do with these two bosses, with the... I don't know which boss is called which. I'm just going to say the Scorpion and the Butterfly. I can understand what they're trying to do, especially trying to make it like aesthetically pleasing. I was pretty bored in this fight. Like, I understand, like, oh, you have to target this one. But this boss as like a melee player is low-key horrible. Like, it's when you hit the butterfly, at least when I was, doesn't seem like fire is all that strong to it, and flame is strong against the scorpion, but he can turn solid, and then they also get attacked at the same time as a butterfly. So I struggled a lot more in this fight compared to the Gaping Jaw, surprisingly enough, because once again, big animals. Not good at that. But this fight, I was just really bored the whole time. Like, I was either chasing one or the other. I felt like some moves just weren't doing any damage. And I'm going to bring the enhanced one up real quick. Even that boss, I wasn't fond of it at all. Like, they got brought back to life. I'm like, okay. Like, this boss is actually somewhat fun when you're the archer. And I do like this part right here, where he comes out of the sky, or when he comes out of the ground, like, grass comes out, and then the butterfly, like, flies in from, like, above the sky. I found that nice. But then this move is just blatant, like, horrible. Like, you get hit by so much stuff, you have to dodge so much stuff, and sure, it's a skill issue, but that fight, that move right there, not my favorite whatsoever. If I could, I would rather not fight this boss, but since I can't do that, obviously, you know. But even when you stun him, like I was like, oh, I stunned him, awesome, let's go do this. I couldn't like rip, what's it called, like when you stab into him, couldn't do that. I did die right here, which I was like, this is annoying, but you know, whatever. But yeah, and then this boss is like, I only fought this boss like once and that was it. This was like my second time fighting him. It's really easy once you get it down. You just stay on his, like, behind him. He can't do anything. Like, he doesn't move his tail, like, at all. He just moves his feet. So you can just really get it down easy like that, which I find kind of lame. But yeah, this boss is a bit lamer for me than the others. I'd put him at a C tier. He's not like failing, but he's still a C. He's not the best, not the worst. Way weaker of a fight. It's still good, but it's a C tier. Yeah, so I actually absolutely hate this boss. If I could, I would put it in F tier. The problem is my tier list doesn't go that low. I hate this boss. And a lot of people said, oh, Augur's just like the Elden Beast. What are you talking about? No, I actually enjoyed the Elden Beast fight. This guy was just horrible. At least as a melee player. I fought him as an archer a couple times. It was fine. There wasn't anything special. But as a melee player, this was horrible. There was at one point where I didn't do any damage for like 2 minutes. This fight took so long. I had all the other fights are sped up ×2. This was sped up ×4, and I think it's still a little bit longer than some of the other fights, just to show how much I hate this boss. And the only reason I won this fight is because I had all the Wending Graces. I don't like this boss. It just overall horrible. The second you get close, it runs away. You do one hit, runs away. It still runs away before you even get close to it at all. I don't like this boss. Like, you can see, we're like like a minute or two in. Sped up ×4, I've done close to no damage. Like, this boss, lowest tier for me. I had no fun fighting this boss with anyone besides the archer. Like, any other person, even with magic, I was fighting with Recluse one time, and it still just went so slow. Even as a trio, like, as a trio is really the only way to fight this guy, because it's just such a slow fight. And I hate that people keep comparing it to the Elden Beast, because sure, the Elden Beast wasn't the best final boss fight, but I still found it like cinematically beautiful. And this guy, his arena is ugly. So this guy's an E tier, lowest on my tier list for me. Horrible. Yeah, I hate this boss. It'd be F tier if I could, but I didn't have that. Now, obviously, Libra is one of the better bosses in this game. Once again, big animal bosses, not my favorite, so I have a bias against most of the bosses in this game. But I actually enjoyed my time fighting this guy. There's not really a lot of madness bosses that you see. The only other one that we really fought was in the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, and that was like what's it called? The Lord of Frenzy. So we didn't really get to see him really cast spells. It was more like he was using that one weapon that he would use to repel Frenzy. So it was really cool seeing Libra use like what's it called? Frenzy incantations like all the time to fight. And yeah, Libra is honestly like goated. Most of the time I hate animal bosses, but I really enjoyed my time fighting this guy. Like it was great. Also, I should mention that I only ever fought this guy once, so I was kind of getting my ass handled over here, but you know it's okay. I think I did that once or twice, but I really liked his OST. I really liked his moveset. It's that move. That move, gorgeous. I know you can't really see it because it's sped up ×2, but I loved it. And then his environment is the only thing that's a little lacking. Obviously, everything's lacking in color because of the frenzy. I understand that, but his environment, it could have been a little better. Maybe when he's enhanced, we'll see a better environment, like with the gaping jaw. I don't know if they changed the environment, but it sure felt like it because it was going crazy. But yeah, Libra as a boss is a strong A tier for me. He's a good mid-tier A tier. He's not the best A tier ever, because once again, I'm biased for big bosses. I really don't like him. But yeah, he's like a middle A tier. He's a really nice boss with a really great moveset. And it seems like, I feel like a good amount of the community agrees. Like it's a great boss. The only thing I would say is I don't like finding his weakness. There's almost no frenzy weapons in this game. So finding his weakness is pretty hard to do, but even without it, it's still not that crazy. So yeah, this guy would be an easy A tier boss. It's really great. Yeah, great fight. I loved it. Loved the OST. Loved the moves. It was great. Alright, now the Dark Drift Knight, I kind of have mixed feelings for it. I really like his first phase. Like, you know, he's like an old soldier. He's fighting with his one arm, and he still has like solid moves. He's kind of slow, so there's a lot of opportunities for you to fight him. It's not like the hardest boss in the world. Like obviously first phase, nothing crazy is gonna happen. And actually, something I do want to say about this run, I couldn't find his weakness. I went everywhere. This was like my first attempt, so obviously I'm not gonna like have it. But I couldn't get a lightning weapon anywhere. But I am gonna hate on his second phase. It's still great. Like I love the glowy environment showing like his like holiness. But dude, I can't predict that arm. Things like the gaping jaw and like his arm, things that have like a stranger way of moving, I find a lot harder to predict. Which is why I am going to bring up the enhanced one for this. It's not going to count towards the actual score, but I think the arm from like when he grows his arm back in the enhanced version, great boss. But with his arm in this one, it's not my favorite. It kind of makes him like a C tier boss. Only because I suck at this game. I can't predict that arm at all. It's such a weird moving arm. Kind of reminds me of like Bloodborne. A lot of stuff just like mangle around weirdly. So this guy's a great boss. Don't get me wrong. I love his enhanced version. It's so much better. But this one with this arm, it's just a C tier boss. Nothing special, nothing great, with a pretty nice surrounding. Yeah, the enhanced is just so much better. Still a C tier boss. It's still decent, but enhanced is better. Now I am gonna glaze the hell out of this boss. I love this boss. This boss was probably, if not my favorite boss of the entire game. I loved the OST. Normally I'm not really a big fan of dragon fights. Bale was probably like my favorite before this, and I don't think that's crazy to say. But Caligo's OST is actually insane. No, I did stay a little quiet there for a reason. You couldn't really hear for the entirety of this run. Unfortunately, I did like look through this back, and it didn't really do it as crazy as I wanted it to. But that little like dun dun dun, I love it. This like the OST of Caligo immersed me. I loved this boss so much. Like my favorite boss ever. And then that right there, like with that ice barrier, or with Caligo freezing the ice above her. beautiful. And then the background, the surroundings, the nature. I love this. It's all frozen. And I know you can't see it right now, but the dragon eye behind me, gorgeous. And then Caligo's scream up there, beautiful. Like great moveset, great boss design, great everything. I love this boss. Like I'm gonna glaze this boss. I love this so much. It's probably one of my favorite dragon fights in the entirety of Soul series. It was such an awesome boss, and I can't believe I got to win this. I've heard Caligo's OST so many times. Like I love glazing this boss. You don't understand. And I love it. You'll see it in like wow, that was so much better. There's a dragon eye by the way over there on the left. Love seeing it. I think I'll pause to look at it. But this move right here as well, gorgeous. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever glazed a dragon fight this much. Like Bale, like rightfully glazed. I never really rated him. But like he was a good dragon boss. My only complaint was that like for the good amount of fight he didn't really fly because his wing was like dead. But like it made up for it. Like his when it grew back, like in that lightning explosion, great. Yeah, Caligo probably, if not for me, my favorite boss just on OST alone. Like it was beautiful. I'm glad it wasn't wasted. Like, whew, I love this boss, dude. My only complaint really is that you do so much. I know I'm level 15 here with like its direct counter, but I'm doing so much damage. Like when I land this right here, hold on. Like watch how much damage this does. Ooh, like a whole chunk, and I get get him weakened. So it's a little unfair. I'm not even gonna lie, but I love this boss, and I did aura from the red at the end, let him hit me, so that I could just like cut him down. But I know I've repeated it so many times, but dude, this boss, beautiful, gorgeous, and then I love the environment. It's great. So yeah, Caligo for me might be too much of a glaze. Easy S tier. I loved this boss with every fiber of my being. This boss was so amazing, dude. Easy S tier. I love this boss. Also, I'm going to talk about Caligo just a little more before I even get here. Caligo's wasn't sped up because I love that boss so much. But yeah, now to this boss. The Nightlord first phase, I understand based off Wylder's remembrance. So he's just walking in the night. He's been doing this forever. That's why I don't expect the first phase to be that crazy. But really, it was just disappointing. Like you do so much damage the first phase. It's not even fair at all. Like yeah, I do get smacked a couple like here now and then, and I am max level, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of damage. But his first phase isn't that much of a struggle. I did it as a raider, and I don't think I've ever dominated a boss so hard in my life. Now I will say, his OST isn't as good as Caligo's, which is why I would have put him. Hold on, before I even give ranking. His moveset, second phase, gorgeous. I love the moveset so much. Like everything's so much brighter. You can see the sky like forming circles in the background. And then he goes up. I did turn away, but goes up, cuts the sky, then nukes the ground. Cinema. I love this so much. But for me, his OST and some of his, a good amount of his moves are really nice. But I feel like the boss, when he's in this state, is more annoying than anything else, just because of how much you can get hit by the environment. That's the same argument I have with Radon from Shadow of the Erdtree second phase. It's a good boss, but the amount of times that the light can hit you, it kind of ruins it for me. Which is the same with this boss. I still love it. I love every of his moves. I love it when he nukes the ground. It's gorgeous. But like getting hit by things that aren't directly from him is kind of annoying, at least for me. But this boss is still overall an S tier. Like he has great moves, a great moveset, a great OST. It's just like a little bit weaker than Caligo's, but overall, he is still an S tier guy. Like that's my whole ranking there. But yeah, thanks for watching. That's my tier list on these bosses, and you see, I did it. I beat all of them.